So this video is a cautionary tale, and I want you to seriously heed my warning when I say this. Please be careful what you buy online. Please. So I'm making this video because I did something recently that I've never done before, and I don't know if I'll do it again. It's a lesson learned the hard way, and I just want to share that with you guys. This is specifically going to revolve around buying gear on Facebook Marketplace. So here's what happened. So I saw a guy that was local to my area, and he had posted a guitar and a head and cabinet for $450. Now, here's the guitar, okay? This is an Epiphone SG Prophecy. This is one of the old Prophecy models. Really, really cool guitar. Really nice top on it. The biggest selling point of these, I think, were the pickups. They were Gibson Dirty Finger pickups, which this guitar has in it, which is awesome. These alone will sell on the used market between $450 and like $600 all day long. And then here is the head and cab, which we will talk about in just a little bit. So as you can see, pretty nice guitar, pretty decent amp and cabinet. 450 bucks, I mean, you can't go wrong, right? You absolutely can go wrong. The biggest offender, in my opinion, is gonna be the guitar. So we're gonna focus more on the guitar, but we will go to the amp in just a few minutes. I am gonna say too, this video aside, I will do my regular content, my review and demo of this guitar and of the amp, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about why you should be extremely careful when you buy online anywhere, but I would say specifically from Facebook Marketplace. So as I said, 2008 Epiphone SG Prophecy, awesome guitar at face value. So when I bought it, I met the guy and it came with a gig bag, and guess where that gig bag's at? It went out in the trash immediately because it smelled like an ashtray. Anyway, I unzipped the gig bag, reached in there, grabbed the neck of this guitar, excited to pull it out, and immediately I noticed something was wrong. The neck was sticky and gloopy and just didn't feel right. And I say that because these guitars originally came with satin necks. So I thought, oh boy. All right, so I pull it out, and the entire back of the neck, I'm talking from the headstock all the way down to where the neck joins the body, was spray painted black, which I thought to myself, that's weird. And it usually means that someone's trying to hide something. So what do? Well, I got a can of paint stripper in the garage, I've got a couple sanding blocks, and I got a lot of time on my hands. So I go through the process, strip all the spray paint off, sand down the remnants, all that kind of stuff, and this neck's got a story to it. So let's start at the top of the headstock here. We're gonna go to the back of the headstock. You may notice that the serial number here looks a little strange. That's because the last 3 digits of the serial number have been like carved out with a knife or something. I thought that I had sanded those away, but you can probably tell that the remainder of the serial number is there practically unharmed. So not a good sign right off the bat. Flipping to the front of the headstock, you can see a pretty nasty knot right here on the front. Not really the biggest deal in the world. I've had a couple of other Epiphones that have had this, where people have just knocked them over or whatever, and you know, nothing's really come of it. It's just a nasty cosmetic thing, right? But I wouldn't be making this video if that was the case, right? Going back to the back of the headstock here, let's look a little further down. And uh-oh, what is this? That's a neck break, ladies and gentlemen. Mystery solved. Notice I didn't say neck repair, I said neck break. Yay! So I think I can deduce what happened here. It was on a stand or something, and it took a nasty fall forward, boop, and it pushed the headstock back and cracked the headstock. So that's lovely. I will say this about it. The crack is not horrible. I can probably just squeeze some tight bond down in this little crack right here and it'll probably fix it. Otherwise, it's not all that bad. But what other reason would there be to spray paint the entire back of the neck? Now, functionally, everything works, right? The truss rod works, so I can set it up. Everything down here sets up. The pickups sound fantastic. They're a little high right now, but they all sound fantastic. The knobs and the switch work. Everything works. So as it sits right now, it is a playable guitar. So that's a win-win for me. I know how to fix the neck. That's not the biggest deal in the world. I do think it's a little shady that it's hidden like it was. It was kind of my fault for not asking for more pictures because there was only one picture that I was going off of and everything looked fine in that picture, but always, always, always ask for more pictures. Little bonus thing that I did too before we move on to the amp, I did ask for a video of just this guitar plugged into that amp to make sure that everything worked. So that was a quick rundown of this. Again, full video will be coming on this, full review and everything. On just this model in general, all of these flaws aside, let's go ahead and take a look at the amp. So here it is, dudes. This is the amp that I got with it. This is an Epiphone Triggerman head and cabinet. Now, I've always kind of really liked the way that these looked. I've seen them come up on Guitar Center and just in the used market in general a lot. But I really don't ever see like a pair, right? Usually you'll see just a head, you can't find the cab, or you know, vice versa. This one has seen better days. So looking back at the picture, I did notice that this piece of the Tolex here was coming off. I did notice that all this tape residue was here, so you know, obviously this was very well loved, and that's not necessarily a turnoff for me because as long as everything works, I could really care less what it looks like. That just means that if, you know, I get a big old rip right here, it's really not gonna matter because the rest of it's already in this kind of abysmal shape, right? I will say the one thing that I'm not super duper fond of is this tear in the grill cloth here. And the biggest thing that I hate about this that I'm working on right now is that the Tolex on the cabinet and probably the grill face just stink. It smells like someone kept an ashtray on top of this thing in a smoky club 24 hours a day. I've managed to clean it up a little bit, get some of the smell out, but it's all in the cab. Like I've smelled the head numerous times to see if that smells like smoke too. It really doesn't. It's the cabinet. One other thing that I would like to point out, you can probably tell here, it says Big Red. So to me, that tells me that this thing was probably gigged or at least played with a band a lot. So I think, fittingly enough, we'll probably just keep its moniker Big Red. I don't know, it says Big Red on it. I'll probably call it Old Smoky or something. At the end of the day, for $450, I still think I got a pretty good deal, considering that everything is in playing shape, like everything works, right? Everything sounds good. All the effects on the amp and everything work. The guitar functions, I can set it up and it plays nice. And again, I know how to fix the neck. So for me, it's not the biggest deal in the world. But this video is for somebody that may be considering Facebook Marketplace as an option to look for gear. I'm not gonna say don't ever go on there and look for anything. It's a great place to go at least look. But it's that old saying, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. And does this situation fall into that? Perhaps a little bit. I don't know, like I said, I think I got a pretty decent deal out of it. Again, it's fortunate that I got it and can address the issues that are there, but just be careful if you're not as experienced or you just don't want to put up with the hassle of trying to fix things. So there you go, guys. I know that was kind of a strange little video, but I just wanted to share that experience with you, pass on a little bit of a sage advice. So if you liked the video, make sure you give it a like, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I try to upload it on a weekly basis. Again, I will have videos of this guitar and of that amp coming soon. So make sure you are subscribed, click the bell notification, stick around for that. And until next time, guys, take care.